Before this,
Excuse me. Hello.
Yeah.
Sergeant Harris, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Okay, these are all closed businesses. You don't have any warrants, you're free to go. You need to dispel our alarm while you're stopped in front of two businesses that are closed.
Okay.
was this,
I have been more than nice to you. Everything coming out of your mouth seems like one lie after another. And I'm trying.
and of course this. This is Sergeant Don Harris with the Bunnell Police Department, who became internet famous this month when Jeff Gray from Honor Your Oath did an audit in Bunnell, Florida. Gray claims that Harris unlawfully detained him, but will we find that pattern of behavior when we look into Harris's past? This is the Honor Your Oath YouTube page. Please subscribe and watch his videos as he's got some great content. And this is the dash cam video from Jeff Gray. We're going to make the assumption that none of this video has been cut or spliced up to look favorable towards him, and that all traffic violations that were seen by the police officers are on this video right here. A couple things to note: he came to a complete stop at the stop sign, and he also properly parks his vehicle 2 times in lawful parking places. Notice he stopped for 7 seconds before the police put their lights on.
Up, Fansler. I'm in. Go ahead. Enough. 1050. I'm at LNP. See what he's doing.
Yep.
It's enough. Excuse me. Hello.
License and registration? Yeah.
Sergeant Harris, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Okay, these are all closed businesses. You don't have any warrants, you're free to go. You need to dispel our alarm while you're stopped in front of two businesses that are closed.
Okay,
When looking at the statute of loitering or prowling, it is unlawful for a person to loiter or prowl in a place, at a time, or in a manner not usual for law-abiding citizens. However, there is a caveat. They must warrant a justifiable and reasonable alarm or immediate concern for the safety of persons or property in the vicinity. Now ask yourself if a man, legally driving on the streets, following all traffic laws, would likely cause such concern, or is Sergeant Harris merely curious about what he's out there doing? If you look at Florida case law, Hollingsworth versus State, the state Supreme Court ruled that a woman walking around closed businesses at night who turned and walked away from police and ultimately hid behind a car, that action was not sufficient enough to raise alarm. In general, loitering or prowling is meant for someone about to commit a crime. Think somebody checking all the car doors in a dark alley at night, or someone hiding in the bushes of a residence with burglary tools. It would be very difficult to articulate someone driving properly around the streets of a city is loitering or prowling. Ultimately, this is a moot point because the police easily abandon this theory and have tried to articulate that this is a legitimate traffic stop.
I'm going to dispel your alarm right now.
You can do that, but you need to understand this is our traffic stop. You don't run it.
You don't have a traffic stop. You have a traffic stop. I have stopped.
Now, why are they arguing over whether or not this is a traffic stop? Gray has just pushed back on the idea that this is any sort of LMP. Now, if Sergeant Harris has him for a traffic stop, she can now require ID from him legally.
Yes, yes you did. You stopped in the middle of the roadway, sir.
I stopped in a lawful parking spot. I've got it dashed.
It took you a second to get there.
Like I said, I'm not convinced it's any of your business when you're doing that.
Listen, if you're a private investigator and you're working, that's fine, but you need to verify
I'm
that.
still not convinced it's any of your business.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so am I free to go?
No,
What do you have me detained for?
sir. I'll go to the back and run the freight. I'll be right over here. Not to mention the stop sign violation at Chapel.
So the first reason she pulled him over was for stopping in the middle of the road. And now she's saying he had a stop sign violation at Chapel. At this point, she's grasping for straws, trying to find anything that she can detain him for.
Mr. Jeff,
I need to see your
the
identification.
tag does not come back. It's not showing a registered vehicle. Now you have to show some registration and verify because it's not legal on the street.
So now it sounds as if the Florida DHS&V has messed up, misinput his vehicle information, and now he has to provide ID. However, he's been improperly detained this entire time.
You're going to be free to go in just 1 second as long as you can verify,
Because
okay?
I'm not doing anything wrong. You guys have stopped me for a constitutional protected activity.
Understood, but the tag is not valid, sir. So that tag does not come back to this car. So now it is a good probable cause stop.
Right on the registration.
Okay, well, I'm verifying to you what our dispatch said. The first initial stop was the stop sign violation next to the church. That was the first one, okay? But we were checking the business, so we couldn't get to our car quick enough.
I don't want to get close to
Okay, understood. That's all. My job is to keep sure my businesses don't get broken into at night. That's all. All right, thank you. Just let me run it and I'll be done. I told him from where we were standing on foot that it looked like that he ran the stop sign over there on the other side of the business. No big deal. And he pulled into that parking spot. That part was legal. However, the tag doesn't come back to it from the original stop. So if you can just verify it's good, he's free to go. Mr. Jeff, just two things. When we first initially saw you where we were on foot by the business, it appeared it was a stop bar violation. We were over there. We couldn't get out with you. No big deal. When I get to the vehicle and I run the tag, dispatch says it doesn't have a record, which is common with a dealer tag. I didn't know that you had this registration, so I advised you on the other side. It appeared to be a dealer tag, so it is. All your credentials are verified, sir. You're free to go.
So what are the potential constitutional issues with this traffic stop? First, she said the reason was for loitering or prowling, which she quickly backed off on and never mentioned again. The next reason for the stop was him stopping in the middle of the road, which he again pushed back upon, and she abandoned that. Then it was fouling the stop sign, which, based off of Gray's video, we see that he comes to a proper stop. And finally, she says is the tag issue, which they hadn't discovered until he had already been illegally detained, and they couldn't explain why he was detained. Ultimately, at best, this was a consensual encounter. But when Mr. Gray told them to pound sand, they had to find a reason to get his ID. That's the constitutional issue here. Back in 2019, Channel 6 out of Orlando ran a story of how Daytona Beach officers mistakenly arrested one man for the warrant of another man. And in 2019, Don Harris was a police officer for the Daytona Beach Police Department. Watch this horrifying video as you see Don Harris falsely arrest a man for a warrant.
Good to go.
Who's on teletype?
I was on teletype.
Come here. Turn your radio down. Tango 12 Central.
3 Tango 12.
I'm sorry, one of my trainees was on teletype.
I'm very important.
Does he have a possible?
34 May. Yeah, it was buried under a whole bunch of aliases. She's out with the subject Jonah Miller. Jonah Miller has numerous aliases and socials. If we can verify the subject, the other name it's coming back to is Zen Molly McDade. It's out of Brevard County.
Okay, stand by 1 second. I'll 10-12 him and get all that from you. He's got a possible warrant. She's calling you on telephone.
I switched back over.
And I need to verify who you are. So just stay on your mic. You're not under arrest. I just need to make sure that you don't have any warrants, okay?
I have a lot of aliens.
Yeah, there's a couple of different socials in your name, and it's probably not you. These guys are brand new and they don't know what they're doing. So let me help. Because your name, your social, your date of birth. I don't know, baby. Maybe you're a victim of identity theft. You got a warrant for petty theft.
That's my name?
What? Not your big dog. That's why I came over, because I heard her on the radio. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you. You got somebody to come take this? I'm not the nasty police. I don't want to do that to you.
It's me.
Do you have tattoos?
Yeah. I have my daughter's name. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I've never been to jail. I've never been to court.
What does this say?
It's so Jonah.
6'1", 6'1"?
1, 2.
I'm exhausted, all means. I don't want to take you if it's not you. He's got a warrant. Everybody's hands should be free.
Okay.
I suggest you get a lawyer because somebody's lying. If it's not you lying to me, it's someone you know because they know way too much about you. They know your date of birth, your social, where you were born, your address, and they have your tattoo. There was a theft that occurred in Broward County, and the theft has your exact description. Tattoo with a scar on your left arm, tattoo on your right arm. Go ahead and pick up his left and right pant leg. It says you got scars on your knees too.
This is crazy. I never been around.
That's enough for me. Did you see the scar? Teletype has a description. That's him. The problem is, and no disrespect, none of them knew how to do the background that I did.
I'm kind of a big deal.
The background that I did says it's you.
That's why I asked her. My job would have.
Only you know if you stole something in Broward County. I gotta be honest, I believed you until I matched your tattoos and your scars.
And my tattoo says my name.
Absolutely. And your date of birth.
Sure. I would have a website.
No, don't work that way. Central asked you to go to Teletype. You were out with a possible, and you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
That's what I'm for. That's why I came.
Yeah, I couldn't, with all that, and I couldn't hear it, honestly.
Okay. I have been more than nice to you. Everything coming out of your mouth seems like one lie after another. And I'm trying. You have every right to be upset, but you need to get an attorney. I have 11 different aliases, 4 different socials, 3 different dates of birth. But this social matches and the tattoos on his arms. Thank you, Liz.
No problem.
This is a picture of Zin McDade that I found on the Brevard County Sheriff's Office website in less than 2 minutes on my cell phone. This was available to the officers on the scene that day. Because the officers were doing a special detail for Bike Week, none of them had a laptop with them. However, had they gone to the trouble of getting a road deputy who had a laptop, they would have been able to easily pull the driver's license photo of Zin McDade and identify that they had the wrong person. Staff at the jail was quickly able to identify that they did have the wrong person, both by his picture and fingerprints. However, it still took them 14 hours to administratively release Mr. Miller. One would hope that the average police officer who ran across this issue would take their time to fully investigate using all of the tools at hand to identify if they had the right person, especially for a petty theft, minor crime warrant.
This is Otha Johnson. His rights were also violated by Officer Harris while she was at the Daytona Beach Police Department. Now let's get one thing straight. Mr. Johnson is not the most sympathetic of victims. He's got a long rap sheet including felony drugs, battery, violation of probation, and yes, even more recently, vehicular manslaughter. One might argue that this is possibly why he knew his rights as far as when he needs to identify himself to law enforcement and when he doesn't. On March 1st, 2015, he was on probation and at his alleged apartment complex with the female friend from Gainesville. The friend was heavily intoxicated and wanted to drive home. Otha hid her keys from her so she wouldn't drive. While this was happening, other neighbors heard the drunk female and called the cops, which is when Officer Harris and Officer Biddix arrived. Let's watch this interaction and see what you think. Here's some things to keep in mind as you watch. In Officer Harris's report, she indicates that due to Johnson's actions, a large crowd began to gather around, and it was becoming an officer safety issue. Try to look for that in the video.
Screaming, yelling. I'm sleeping. Now you are.
Been sleeping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's the keys?
Right in here.
I'm just going to walk away from her and go talk to him. She already sassy.
Yeah. You got your ID in here?
You want to talk to me now about this car? Is that your lady friend? I just want to make sure she was alive, and then I'll talk to you.
She's alive.
Who is she to you?
She's a friend of mine. But she's been drinking, so she's been parked there for a second. And that's why I told her, I said, I took her keys. I said,
Good.
You can't leave, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, don't leave, you know what I'm saying? Just lay there and go to sleep. If you want to go, you want to go.
Well done, Biddix. Well done. So tell us what happened. She drank and she wants to drive, so you took the keys?
Yeah, and she got upset. But that's all it was. You know, she got mad and she wanted to leave, and I took the keys.
She mad at you?
She's fine. She just.
Who's she mad at?
Need to relax. She's just upset because she's drunk. You know, some people get drunk and they can't handle it.
They're nasty, I know, yeah. Are you guys dating?
She's a friend of mine.
Just a friend. Okay, good. So it's not domestic.
No.
Fabulous. All right. I'll be right back, sir. So you have the keys?
Huh?
You have the keys?
No, I set them on the passenger seat.
Oh, don't do that. Where does she live?
She lives in Gainesville.
Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing here?
She came down to visit. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I didn't want.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, the bird. Yeah, right, Dion, you by chance? I always have my ID. Why do you need my ID?
Just because you were the helpful half in this call.
Okay, well, I didn't call you.
You're the other half in this call, and you didn't break the law.
Any call.
Nobody broke the law. Okay.
I'm not the other half of any call.
Here's the deal. When we don't do a police investigation, you don't have to give it. Now we're doing an investigation for a violent drunk female.
Right, so that's
We are. Do you have any warrants for murder out of Kansas?
No.
How do I know, since you're not giving me your name?
I don't have to.
You do have to.
I can tell you my name.
That's all I want.
Okay, my name
Is your major criminal justice?
No, but my name is knowing what the law is, and I don't have to give you anything.
You do have to give me
I
your
don't have to
name.
give you anything. Am I under arrest?
You will be for not giving me your name.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
That's the law.
It is.
Yeah, tell me what statute that
Yes.
is.
It's an obstruction
What
statute.
statute? What statute is it?
I'm doing my job. He's not free to go in the house yet.
I ain't free to go in the house.
No, because I'm talking to you in reference
Because
to my
you're
call.
talking to me
Yes.
in reference to your call. And
Yes.
what was the call about?
The call is about a female who's in a white car intoxicated.
Okay, and so then what did it have to do with a black male that's trying to give you information?
Oh,
on a
it's
female?
great. Is it racist?
No.
Is it? I hope not, because my foster kids are black. You're about to go to jail. I'm going to cuff you and put you in the car
For what?
before you're not cooperating. Watch me.
What would I be charged
I want
with?
your name. Just
What
give
would
me
I
your
be charged
ID.
with?
Obstruction.
Obstruction of what?
Justice. It's a statute.
Well, you tell me what the definition of obstruction of justice is.
I will as soon as I cuff you and write it. Let me see your name.
Would be me messing with you. My name is Open, I told you.
Okay. Show me. How do I know that's your
My
name?
ID is in the house. Do I need to get my ID out the house?
No.
To tell you that?
No.
Okay, so that's my name.
Okay. How do I know that's your name?
Because I just told you. What do I have to lie about it for?
I don't know that's your name.
I just told you. You didn't
Are
even
you
know
on
I
this lease?
existed until I came
Are
out
you
the
on the
side of-
lease
I
here?
came to assist you. I don't live there.
You don't
It's
live
my
here.
neighbor's house.
Good.
I
Your
live
neighbor's
over
about
there.
to go on my do not rent list, and I'm going to work on that next.
I live there.
Okay. I'll work on that next.
What are you working on?
Because you're making me upset. Your lack
You're
of
upset.
cooperation.
No, my cooperation. I came to help
Delta
you.
73 Central.
I came to help you.
I'm about to make.
Listen, I came to help you. I came out here to tell you what was going on.
73
How am I
Central.
not cooperating?
You made me hot. Your lack of cooperation put me to another level.
I came out
Is
there to
any
help you,
units
but
in
I
here?
lacked to cooperate. What's the issue?
You're not going over there. Be quiet.
Right now. You all right? You all right?
Can you please show me some ID? If it's in the house, you're not free to leave to get it. I will run it on teletype. Is it out of Florida?
I'll give you yes. My name is Otha Johnson.
Back up.
My name is Otha Johnson.
Back up.
603 North Beach at the restaurant supply place.
About it, but,
Hey, I'm just curious which one of you guys is on the lease? You? I'm letting you know I'm going to your management for your uncooperative tenant.
I don't live there.
Not my problem. You were visiting her. Not my problem. You're making this worse than it is. I am a 17-year player. I know the law. Stop disrespecting me. Not yet. Not yet. My favorite. Ain't nobody talking to you, sir. Calm down. You're getting loud. People are coming outside. That's disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct.
My constitutional rights. What am I under arrest for?
That's the 73.
Nothing. Am I being detained?
Not yet, sir. Be quiet.
Okay, well, I'm leaving.
You're not free to leave. I'm doing
I
an
am free to leave.
investigation.
Am I
No,
being
you're
detained?
not.
Am
You
I
will
being
be.
detained?
You will be.
Let me record this.
You can record it.
Let me record this.
7-3 Central. I am doing.
Let me see this camera.
Now you're
Why
about to go to
touching me?
jail. You're about to go to
Touching me?
jail.
I'm going to jail, but you touching
You
me.
are. I'm going to take you to jail for
Or
resisting in a
you
minute.
touching me? Resisting
Yes.
what?
Back
Stop
up.
talking to
Come
me.
over here. I need to 10-12 him and put him in the car, and he's going to resist, so I want a sergeant here.
No, there's nothing.
Okay, good. Thank you.
What am I being arrested for?
Turn around. Turn around.
No, she's not. She's not. She was explaining. No, she can't just explain to me how you gonna take me to jail for nothing. What are you doing? Why are you even touching me? This is against the law.
He's there with his Korean mother.
Get in.
This is against the law. This is against the law.
Now you're going to jail.
You breaking the law.
You're going to jail. Get in.
After spending 2.5 months in jail, Johnson and his defense have a motion to suppress hearing with Judge Foxman. Sergeant Harris and the witnesses testified that Johnson was acting quote-unquote disorderly, and Harris testified that at the time of asking for his identification, Johnson was not being investigated for a crime and wasn't even going to be arrested. She testified that she wanted his name and ID for 2 reasons. Number 1, she's writing a police report and needs to make contact with everyone. And number 2, she needs to exhaust all measures to determine if it's not domestic violence or if it is. So why is Harris so concerned about domestic violence? We might see some of this later, but in Florida and most police departments, they do have specific requirements that you have to do when it comes to domestic violence. So she was probably just making sure that she was covered there, which is great, but I'm not aware of any domestic violence laws that require officers to identify all parties, even if they aren't suspected of a crime. Let me know if you think that I'm wrong. After hearing both sides and watching the body camera video, Judge Foxman agreed with the defense, ruling that Johnson was not acting disorderly on the scene by merely challenging the officer's requests. He also ruled that although Harris may not have liked it, he didn't feel that she had the right to detain him. All charges were dropped and Johnson was released. Shortly afterwards, Johnson filed a multi-complaint federal lawsuit against the city of Daytona Beach, Officer Harris, Officer Biddix, Sergeant Blowers, and Chief of Police Mike Chitwood, claiming false arrests, excessive use of force, malicious prosecution, etc. The defendants, meaning the city and the officers, filed a motion to dismiss the suit, which was denied on the most applicable complaints, and ultimately, all the officers were stripped of their qualified immunity as this case was headed to trial. Before trial, both parties agreed on a settlement. After combing through hundreds of public documents, I learned that the city of Daytona Beach agreed to pay Otha Johnson and his attorneys $170,000 to drop the suit. That's right, the taxpayers of Daytona Beach paid $170,000 to a career criminal because Harris didn't understand the law. Here's the crazy thing. During a deposition for the lawsuit, Harris actually said that she thought she was right to require ID from Johnson and the judge was wrong in his ruling. So $170,000 later, and Don Harris was never disciplined by Daytona Beach PD for this and still didn't learn about reasonable, articulable suspicion when requiring ID for people. Oh, and you'll never read about the $170,000 ruling in the papers or any of the news media. Finally, this is Daryl Harris. His rights were violated as he was wrongly arrested for carrying a concealed firearm in his vehicle, even though he had a concealed firearm permit and ID with him at the time of arrest, with the officers aware as such. There's no video available from this incident. I discovered this incident while reviewing Don Harris's disciplinary record from Daytona Beach Police Department. On July 20th, 2011, Harris was the training officer for Officer Justin Elliott. They backed up Sergeant Penny Dane for a suspicious vehicle behind Red Lobster after hours. Daryl's co-worker, Ashley Locklear, had asked him for a ride to Red Lobster because her boyfriend worked there and was getting off of work soon. They waited in the rear of the parking lot for her boyfriend to finish his shift and that they could leave. Daryl stated that he couldn't wait any longer and was pulling out of the parking lot when 2 police cars stopped him. Ultimately, he allowed Don Harris to search his vehicle. Officer Harris found a loaded handgun in a holster between his seats. When she asked him about it, he said that he had a concealed firearms permit for it. Now, as Harris would explain, she thought that Sergeant Dane had heard this admission too, which Dane told investigations that she didn't know about. Dane said that they should arrest Daryl, and Officer Harris again believed Dane had all the information, including that he had a permit for it. Once back at the station, Elliott found the permit in Daryl's wallet and showed it to Harris. Harris still had Elliott arrest Daryl. Dawn Harris was given a 12-hour suspension without pay for this incident and removed from the field training program for 12 months. Harris wrote, "Captain Chief, I truly am sorry. I should have known better. The first time in my career I let my personal life affect my decision-making at work. It will never happen again. Thank you." In the public records, I could find no determining reason for why she said that she let her personal life affect her decision-making.
And there you have it. What do you think of these 4 instances? And do you think there are any more out there involving Dawn Harris? Do you know of any? Let me know. Let's see.
That crazy guy.